Whoops. What's up, guys? This is Brandon, and today I think you already read the title of this stream. I already know what we're going to do today. Which, if you didn't know, it was a Valk comparison between the stickerless and the regular Valk M. They're both Valk M's. I'm just comparing them from each other, like the shades, the quality, and just in general, the turning in general. Anyway, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to mention right now, I'm just going to take these off. First thing I want to mention is that they are both the exact same amount. From any kind of, almost any store, Speed Cube Shop, Cubicle.us, Cube Depot, Amazon, literally almost anywhere. That's any store that sells cubes. If you get them custom, like custom made, like from the Cubicle or Speed Cube Shop, then they do range from prices, from this being about $3 on average, more than this. Only if you get it custom, but if you buy it like a CH Valk M. Well, okay, that was weird. Okay, let me just fix that very quickly. I don't even know what happened there. Just to be clarifying, that's not the cube. It's just the tensions. I have my tensions very, very, very loose. That's actually something to talk about. With the regular Valk M in black, you can have the tensions as loose as you want. But on the stickerless, well, actually, you can have the tensions on the Valk M almost as loose as you want until the center caps start to bulge out. Then that's too loose and it will pop and break. But here, no matter how, you have to have it pretty tight, because if you loosen it even just a little bit too much, then it will fall apart like that. So that's something to mention. So I don't really like the stickerless cubes in general for that one reason. I can't have them to my tensions, which are pretty very loose. It's actually a little bit too tight. Way, way, way too tight, actually. Anyway, so that's one thing to mention. And so, on average, these cost $43 each, unless you get them custom. What else? The shades, you can get them if they're just buying them regularly. They come in regular stock half brights for this cube, and full brights for this, on stickerless. Unless you get them custom made, because then after that, the choice is yours. This can have fit into full fitted stickers. These could have only one kind of sticker, which is none. The next thing I'm going to compare is probably the core itself. The Valk has a black internals, black everything, depending on color you choose it. If you choose it white, then it'll have white internals and white everything. And then from here, stickerless it could be anywhere from any of the colors on the sides. I got mine white. What else? Rather than that, there is just performance in general. The Valk M versus the stickerless Valk M, the performance literally changes from like a Zanchi to the stickerless Zanchi, because that's basically all it is. The black is more sturdy, more stable, more smooth, and then the stickerless is, to most people, just amazing. It's kind of like a mix of all three. So I'd consider the black to be fast, stable, with some crisp in it. And I consider the stickerless to be basically mainly just smooth, great performance, pretty good speed. Yeah, the only thing left to do is an average of 100 on each. So I'm going to get out my timer down here. And then we're going to do an average. It's going to be a little different from my normal times because I'm actually using my filming desk. This thing under here is my cubing desk. So this may be something a little different. I might get sub 10, maybe average. But yeah, let's do average of 100. I have scrambles listed for each cube right under the camera. So I'm just going to do these. I already did the first scramble on each of these cubes. As you see, I got a corner twist on this. That's because of my loose tensions. Don't think the cube is bad. Just check some comments. So far we have none. Hello, viewer that is watching right now. Medium one. Thanks for sticking around. God, I'm alone. Okay, that's the first. Now let's go over to the black cube. This assault is really unlucky. It was actually the same, 10.78, so that was actually kind of weird. I actually had a lucky scramble on this, and I didn't have this, so just average in general. The scramble's under the list if you guys want to follow along. This I'm actually going to do with you guys on each cube. So it's R2. You are really fast. Yep, it took me a while, Dot. I'm actually sub 10, believe it or not. I prefer black cubes with full fitted stickers. This is my friend's stickerless. I traded him just for this video. Yeah, let's get started. This scramble, I'm going to try to follow along from just using the thing. So it's R2, D2, F2, B, L, R2, D2, B2, F, no. So B2, F prime, wait. Yep, F prime, L, D2, U, L, R, U, R, U2, B2, F. There you go. Yep. If you guys want to follow along. .215. I'm having a really good average today. Holy crow. I think this may actually be weird because I was actually keeping on that desk, but now I'm keeping on this. Maybe I'm going to try this from now on. Maybe it's just the desk placement. Okay, let's do this. Just be clear, fine, I scramble slow. That's only because hand-eye coordination is a little bad for me. But yeah, I'm a really fast solver. It took me, is your cam reversed? Don't worry, I'll be practicing racing it later here. Okay. Is cam reversed? No, it's, it might be. Maybe I just messed up the scramble. Maybe if I did, I'm not sure. But yeah, this took me about, to get this fast, it's 4 years of practice. My friend is this fast from just 1 year of practice. 8, yeah, sub 9, okay. This is actually a really good average for me today. I'm gonna start doing some solves on my black cube in a second. One thing that I actually should mention about me. Oh, hold on. Is that I'm left-handed and not many cubers are left-handed. That was really bad. I'm gonna get a really bad solve here. 11. But yeah, so in H primes I'd actually do it like this. In A primes I do it with actually my left hand, doing all the R's instead. I'll just do it with my left, so it's L's. So yeah, it's a little different about me. That was a really bad solve again. I think I may actually do better on stickerless cubes. I'm not sure. Actually, that's kind of weird. I got really good solves on the stickerless cubes. Maybe there might be a small chance. This is a weird scramble. That was a weird thing. That was a weird pause right there. Why do I keep pausing? What's going on? Am I seriously going to be able to recognize better on stickerless cubes? Hold on a second. I'm just going to do one other scramble from the other side. I have 2 lists, black cube, stickerless cube. If I get a weird sub 10, that'd be weird. Yep, it's just the solves are really unlucky. bad. I'm just gonna do scrambles just randomly from the list. Thanks for watching, Dot. If you want to follow along at home, just see. Wait, hold on a second. Probably more slip recognition. It might be the colors. What's your main? Oh, left-handed. Yeah, I'm left-handed. My main actually is a Cubicle Labs Valk M back here, believe it or not. But there is a problem, which is 2 magnets are dislocated. As you can see, it has full fitted stickers on it. Compared to these, and full fitted, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, is just those stickers are a little bit bigger on the puzzle. So if I, for instance, I'm just going to use a solve on this. Even though the magnets are dislocated, I'm probably still going to get sub 10. I'm getting a new one to replace it for my birthday, which, believe it or not, is today. Actually, it's 2 days. So I'm probably gonna get an Angstrom Valk M, and so those are the 2 cubes I'm getting for my birthday: an Angstrom Valk M and a Cubicle Labs Valk M. Ooh, actually, this is about 12. Wait, hold on. How do you even do this? Okay, hold on. I don't even know how I'm supposed to do this. I only got a GANS 3568. That's actually not that bad. When I had a GANS 3568, I was averaging about 20 seconds, a little under. But that's actually not that bad. If you want, Dot, I can show you some tips and tricks. I'm actually gonna make a video later today of tips and tricks that I use to help me solve fast. That was a really bad solve. This is going to be a really bad solve unless I get some kind of skip or something. Yep, really bad solve. 13. Wait, you can only solve on any cross? Oh, yeah. Color neutral, believe it or not. Just to be clear, fine. You don't have to be color neutral to get good times. The only reason people are color neutral is because they're not really good at cross. That way, if they're color neutral, they can get a good cross almost every single time. So I don't picture people, if they're color neutral, as really fast. Can't watch a video, it's really late here. It's okay, dude. Like, it's still, you could come back tomorrow, come back anytime. I'm probably going to be live streaming some more now. But yeah, most people, they say color neutral means they're really good at solving, but I take it as, it's not that they're good at solving, it's that they're not really good at cross. Because if you're color neutral, you can get a good cross almost every single time because you can just switch to a side that has a good cross. But instead, all you really have to do is just get better at cross. That way, you don't really have to stick on any side because you're already good at cross. So that you can go with whatever, and then you're good. I'm color neutral and I'm good at cross, which is kind of a good mix for me. I can do green side here, but I kind of want to do... How would I do this? Oh, I know. Also, I made up my own method. Almost like Phil, you made up ZZ. How long have you been doing YouTube? About 3 years now. I started when I was about 30 seconds averaging. But yeah. It's been a while since I've started, actually. Ugh, I can't even believe it. Yep, there you go, sub 8. 30 seconds average. Oh, that's not that bad. Right now, if you want to get better, right now, when I usually get better, there's 3 different time parts that are going to be super hard to advance to because you're going to have to learn a huge different advancement. There is becoming sub 10, becoming sub 20, and becoming sub 30. Those are the 3 hardest parts. The hardest is sub 10, so it will get harder. I believe sub 30 is kind of the easiest compared to me. I'm just going to do the solve very quickly. And what I mean that is basically time barriers of averaging. So becoming, when you're sub 30, if you want to become sub 30, I suggest 3 things. Because you have a GANS Air, that is the first thing, which is get a decent cube. At least about $20, maybe over. But yeah, the first thing you would probably want to do is, like I said, get a good cube. The next thing you want to learn is two-step OLL and PLL. Two-step OLL and PLL is in case you didn't know, I'm just gonna do a solve. Wow, this is really, really good solve. Small pause. Messed up that perm. You mean to look? Yes. Sorry. I'm not. Just in case if anyone else doesn't know what it is. To look OLL and PLL. I'm just gonna. So to look OLL and PLL, you start off with getting a cross on the top side. Then you would solve the top side. Then you'd get all the corners oriented, and then from there just edges. Actually, when I was doing that, what I would do is I'd actually, believe it or not, I'd solve actually the corners first when I was doing to look. I mean, sorry, I'd solve the edges first. I don't even know why I did that. Using a PLL. And then I'd get the corner because there's basically just A perms, unless you get an E perm. Oh, I know, to look OLL and a few extra algorithms. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. But yeah, so basically what I would do is edges using a PLL algorithm. So an example of my solve back then, I can actually probably get pretty good times right now using that method. Using some beginner. Actually, I'm gonna do a quick solve of using the beginner method that I used to use back then. I might actually get a good solve. Wow, it's actually been super long. Okay. Anyway, so the thing about doing edges first, I think is actually kind of better. What's your favorite cross to solve on? To me, I don't really have a preference. If there was a preference, I'd... Whoa, that was actually kind of weird. Okay, let me just set this up. Really, really weird. Give me a second. If I had a preference, it'd actually be white. Oh, hey, I love cubing 1229. Yeah, I'd actually have a little bit of a preference on white side, only because back then that was the cube, that was the side I'd actually solve on. Not actually side I'd solve on, sorry. That was the cubes I would use. I'd use white cubes, believe it or not. Anyway, rather than that, basically what I mean by that is, I'm just going to zoom out, that was super close. But using this edges first, I'm not sure if anyone uses also two-step OLL and PLL to look. I got the step word in my mind. I'm just gonna do this. And so to look, the same thing as last time. Most people use this. I use the exact same to look OLL and PLL. I mean OLL, but to look PLL, most people would do actually corners and then an edge permutation. But actually, what I would do is I'd actually do edges first. Doing that by just doing an OLL algorithm. So if I have two edges like that are next to each other and need to swap or adjacent, I just do a J perm. And if they're across, I do a T perm. And why I do that is because there's only two possible outcomes, which is an A perm, which most people I think you know to dot. I'm just doing it right-handed for now. And then an E perm, which J perm, any J perm. I kind of use the left-handed version. Most people do the right-handed. So if there's like two edges that need to swap on the left side, like for me, if you in this case have to swap on the left, you can actually just turn the cube this way and make it swap on the right. So you, if you guys out there, and because if you orient the corners first, I'm just gonna do a demonstration or something right now. If you orient the corners first, you can have three different outcomes, which is a U perm. Hold on. An H perm. Just in case if you didn't know what an H perm is, it's where these two edges need to swap and these two edges need to swap. And And then there is a Z perm, which is kind of the same way, but instead it's across from each other. So these two, and these two. And so that's 3 different algorithms you need to learn. Plus there's 2 U perms. So that's 4 different possible outcomes. But if you do edges first, all you have to do is the pilo that you already recognize, which is a J perm or a T perm. The J perm going like this. I'm doing left-handed. I think I messed that up. And then from there's only 2 possible outcomes. An A perm, which I think most people know. If you don't know, just look it up on a website. Literally just type in A perm and it'll literally show you how to do an A perm. There's lots of different A perms you can do. One second, I need to do something. There's different A perms. There's only 2 A perms you can possibly get, and an E perm, which not a lot of you people know. If you guys out there, it's pretty simple to me. It's that easy, and then you can only get it where these 2 need to swap and these 2. If you get it where it's like sideways, you just turn the cube like this. Read your last comment. Chi times Moyu times magnetic cube times budget cubes times speed cube equals perfect. Your cube is silent. I know, it's because all my cubes, I like my cubes pretty gummy but also smooth at the same time. But at the same time, I like them also fast. Like, my 2 preferred lubes are D&M to make it fast and Silk to make it quiet. Anyway, so I think this is better because there's only 3 possible outcomes, and you only need to learn 1 new algorithm, versus 4 possible outcomes and you need to learn 2 possible algorithms. So I think that's actually a lot better. I got only GAN Magic Lube and Nubical Silk. Okay, GAN Magic Lube, believe it or not, is basically D&M, but with a slight variation. So you basically got the perfect setup. It's to make my cube. Imagine Lanlan and Moyu make a collab. Actually, they have made a collab. Actually, believe it or not, Kong's Design, which was a very, very old brand that I'm not sure if any of you guys use, are actually a cross between Moyu and Lanlan. Lanlan, of course, taking over Kong's Design at the end. If you actually go to Lanlan, you can, or Moyu, actually, a long time ago, you can actually see it. I'm not sure what that is. What means. Hold on. But yeah, I use 1 look for each OLO and PLO and advanced F2L and stuff. But like I said, you can still get really good times by using the beginner's method. I can use like another beginner's method, and I can still get to up 30. But yeah, after this live stream, right when this ends, keep a lookout because I will right after. It may take about 10 to 20 minutes, but I will make a walkthrough solves, and I will critique the beginner's method and just show you some tips and tricks. So just keep a lookout for that. That was really bad. One thing that's also kind of cool is that because I have really bad hand-to-eye coordination, but I do have a lot photographic memory, believe it or not, I can actually tell basically the whole cube what it's going to be like using inspection. That's also because I'm really good at blind. I can do blind in about 30 to 40 seconds. But are you sponsored? Are you sponsored by anything? No, I am not. And if you want to see my method, here's an example of my method. I call it AA. Just AA, not like II, like from Monkey Ball, I think it was called, a long time ago. It was something else. It was a game. But it's AA, the RNA algorithms, which RNA is my last name. But so basically how you would do it is the first method of CFOP, which is kind of the same way as beginner's method of getting cross edges, corners, edges, 2-look OLO and PLO. It's kind of the same way, but instead you use 1-look OLO and PLO. F2L is putting the corners and edges at the exact same time, and cross is a little bit more advanced. So you would do it like this. What I would do is I remember they had a songs, Design Maying, Kong's Design Mewing, Kong's Design Maying, and the Kong's Design Maying. Yeah, there was a lot of old cubes. Anyway, so right now how I would do this, I'd do something like this. That way I'd get this piece solved, and this piece just like that, and now I have 2 pieces that are solved. I do 3 to get this back piece right here solved. So now I have 1 edge like this. And so I do just some simple things. That's cross. That's first step. Next step is A F2L, which is, believe it or not, same thing as F2L. where it's a little bit more advanced cross and, corners and edges, but with some extra algorithms. So I'm just going to restart from scratch, putting in a cross. So it's basically if you're doing the edges and corners at the same time, and you get an annoying case, which I say because annoying because for instance, this edge is solved and the corner's right here, and you would have to do so many moves to put this corner in, and then after that you're gonna have to put the edge in again. So it's basically a method where you can put the corner in without messing up the edge. And cubes are awesome, but too pricey. Yeah, that's actually what I think of. That's cool. There's actually a website called livetape.com, and they sell amazing cubes, basically any cube that normal cube stores sell. But at the beginning, you just have to click toys when you're making your own account. I'm not sure if you have it. Just click toys if you're a kid, because all the other stuff is for grown-ups, like food and accessories. You're not going to even like it unless they make an account. Like toys, electronics, those are the two things you should probably click on. And then from there, all you really have to do is just order your cubes, like the Gans SM, the Ganair SM, believe it or not, from there cost about $30, and that's it, which is $20 off. And same thing with a lot of other cubes like Valks and stuff. You could get a 3x3 from there for $1. I wish the Diama didn't run out of stock. Yeah, that was a really good puzzle. But yeah, so I suggest ordering from livetape.com if you are averaging that much. But once you get around to the sub 20 and 10 range, you should probably get from the Cubicle. Because even though they are really good cubes at affordable prices, they take a while to come. Just a little longer, like 9 days compared to 5. They just take a little bit longer to come. So unless you're away with waiting, it's like, would you rather pay extra to make it come early? Or, fast? Or pay a little less, but it takes a little longer to sell. That was really weird. Guys. This is weird. Let's see something. Okay, give me a second. They're much better. Well. Perfect. But yeah, so it's basically for advanced. If you go to China and order the GameCube, it only costs $10. I know, I've actually went to China once. That's cheap. Yeah, BRB got it. Be right back. Okay. But yeah, so I still think this is pretty cool. So my method, I believe, is for not advanced solvers, but getting there. But they're not advanced yet, but they are really close. But it's also used for advanced solvers too. That was very nice sometimes. But one thing I actually think about cubing that's actually really, really surprising that I found on a study is that there's 3 types of cubers when they average the decent or even just they would consider by their friends to be pretty fast. And like cubing friends. From sub 15 to sub 10, around that range, which you're not far off from Dot. Because it's easier to get faster when you're in the minute to 2 minute range. Same thing with 30 seconds. But it's hard when you get like super fast, because a couple seconds means everything. Versus a couple seconds to when you're like a minute actually doesn't mean that much. Anyway, so like I was saying, when you my method, basically how it works is when you're averaging, like I said, the study I was talking about from before, you either, when you're averaging pretty fast, like you record with, just a random app, or even just a paper pen, which is the old-fashioned way that I usually use, actually, believe it or not, sometimes, when I'm recording data. But I found that every single solver, if they're really, really good in that range, they're either really, really good at the first 2 steps, cross and F2L, but kind of bad or iffy on OLL and PLL, which is the last 2 steps of CFOP, if any of you guys know that. And then there is the guys who are good at the last 2 steps, OLL and PLL, but aren't really good at the first 2 steps, cross and F2L. And then there's the guy who isn't the best at anything, but isn't the worst at anything. He's like decent at everything. All the cross, FQL, OLL, PLL. I'm kind of in the middle of the guy who's really, really good at the first 2 steps, but decent at the last 2 steps, versus all around decent. Because I am really, really good at the first 2 steps, but I'm not bad at the last layer. Well, not at last layer. I don't know why I said the in between. Like an example of this is because I'm just going to do a solve right now. Like if I just skip out the last 2 steps. Okay, that was actually a messed up. Like for instance, if you're right now from the sub 30 range, or you're trying to get sub 30, cross should take you about 5 seconds at most. F2L should take, or even just the, to get these 2 layers done, should take about 10 to 15 seconds, and then 5 seconds for to look OLL and to look PLL, which is the last layer basically. If you actually look at my times, like that's 5 seconds just to finish the first 2 steps, and then there's like 4 seconds to finish the last 2, which actually should be like 2 seconds or 3 seconds to finish the last 2 steps. And if you add that up all together, I take 1 second to do cross and then a second for each F2L pair. What's your personal best? Actually, it's on my channel, 3.72. Only because the solve was super lucky. It was the luckiest solve I've ever gotten in my history of cubing, which is the PB, which actually is supposed to be that. But I think I had the scramble one there. I'm not sure. But the solve was two moves, and I got a cross, and there was already one of these little things done in between, which is a pair. And then from there, the first other 2 pairs are just like this. They're just 3 moves like that. So they weren't that hard. And then the last pair was actually pretty easy. And then the OLL was, again, pretty easy. It was like 6 moves, I believe. And then from there, the whole cube is solved. And so I thought that was the solve was pretty lucky. But then I've gone to my method. It is then OLL, which is, I use actually VLS and winter variation, which is really advanced OLL. But instead, when I was at the intermediate stage, 20 second averaging, I would use ALL, which is basically to look OLL and PLL, but simpler, because there's no algorithms really. It's just a couple moves kind of over and over again a little bit. Example of that would be this right here, which is if I have this right here, this bar, and I have to put it in, I would get a case like this, which isn't always the best. But if I use AF to ALL, I get a case that looks like this, which is actually a lot nicer and a lot easier to solve. So yeah, it's been 30 minutes. I would say that's I think that's enough of this camera following. Thanks for watching. Be a lookout for the walkthrough solves I was talking about. Very soon I will be using the, is it a unofficial world record? No, actually, there's lots of other solves, like a 3.41 I believe was out, that's coming out. Not from my channel, but from a different, for 3x3. But yeah, thanks for watching. We will see a walkthrough solve pretty soon. And then I guess I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye!